everybody, welcome back to another missing persons case. Today's case is one I found on thecharlieproject.org, which is where I find most of my cases. And this is an old one. It's from 1994. It is on a little girl who was outside playing with her brothers and seemingly vanished. Crystal Ann Tymich was the daughter of Jane Newman and Mario Tymich. Now in 1994, her parents were split up. So 6-year-old Crystal and her 3 older brothers, ages 8, 10, and 12, spent half of their time with their mother in Santa Monica, and the other half was spent with their father in South Los Angeles in the Hyde Park district. Crystal was a very sweet little girl, and she loved The Little Mermaid, and she loved playing arcade video games. Her mother has described her as being a fighter and a very high-spirited little girl. On June the 30th, 1994, Crystal and her brothers were at their dad's home in the 6000 block of Brynhurst Avenue. The kids were playing outside about 4 or 5 houses down from their dad's residence, and they had been riding bikes and picking peaches off a tree in the neighbor's yard, and they'd been kind of like throwing them to see who could get them to go the farthest. I believe they were throwing them over a house, you know, just basic kid stuff, trying to keep themselves entertained. They had plans to go watch Disney's The Lion King, which had just come out that year. So when their grandmother called for all the kids to come in, the boys headed back to the house between 2 and 5 p.m. Now, I'm not sure why the time given that Crystal disappeared has a 3-hour space. I couldn't find an exact time. Every bit of information I looked up has said between 2 and 5, which is really odd to me, but that's the time stated. But as the boys returned home, they did kind of turn back and look, and they didn't see their sister. I guess they thought she was just kind of lagging behind, so they went on in the house without her. Now, I'm not sure how much time passed. It could have only been a few minutes, or it could have been longer, but the grandmother did go outside looking for her, you know, trying to kind of hurry her along and get her in the house. But Crystal was nowhere to be found. Now, I could not find exactly when the police were called, but I'm assuming that the family looked around for her a little bit first. Most people probably wouldn't immediately assume the worst, so they were probably calling out for her, checking with the neighbors, looking to see if she was in someone's yard, maybe seeing if she was hiding somewhere, but they obviously could not find her. Police did eventually arrive and began to help look. They were knocking on doors. They brought in the sniffer dogs. They were talking to neighbors. I couldn't find any information on whether the dogs picked up on her scent or where her scent last led to, if they did alert to it. Now, neighbors did tell police that Crystal had kind of been wandering off from her brothers, maybe a little farther than she should have been that day, and the neighbors would kind of say, hey, you know, and lead her back to where her brothers were. Other than Crystal kind of wandering away from her brothers, neighbors hadn't seen anything suspicious that day. They hadn't noticed any suspicious vehicles. They hadn't noticed any shady people, you know, kind of lingering around that day. They hadn't seen anything alarming or odd that would have caused them to pause and think that maybe something wasn't right. Over 100 police officers showed up to aid in the search for Crystal. They set up roadblocks, and they were working well past their scheduled shifts to try to find this little girl. They could not find any evidence of what could have happened to her. They couldn't find any clues as to where she could have possibly gone. Now, Crystal's mother, Jane, has stated that Crystal had talked about running away before. I'm sure every little kid has been mad at their parents or their siblings and thought about running away or even threatened to do so. But if she was planning to run away, surely she wouldn't have just decided in that moment to leave without taking any of her things. Most little kids have special things or little mementos that they would probably take with them. If they were going to run away, they would probably pack a bag and bring a blanket. These are just my thoughts, but I personally don't think that Crystal purposely left on her own. And if she did purposely walk away, I don't think it went how she expected it to. I don't think she really meant to leave for this long. It is possible that she was abducted or lured away, and this is the theory that I myself believe is the most likely. I think either someone grabbed her when she was away from her brothers, and they grabbed her very quickly when she was alone, someone that happened to be in the area and saw the opportunity. Or I think someone in the neighborhood that she knew or maybe had seen before and semi-trusted, or maybe someone that lived close but she didn't know, was able to lure her away and take her. Now, as you can see, on either side of the family's home are apartment complexes. There are several apartment complexes as well as duplexes on this street, along with a lot of single family homes, so there are a lot of people that live on this street. I wonder if police knocked on every door. There are a ton of homes in this area. She could have been in any one of these residences while police were searching, or she could have already been very far away from this area. Now, I'm sure police couldn't possibly search every single apartment unit and duplex and home, but I do wonder if they checked into anyone that may have left or moved out abruptly around the time that Crystal disappeared. I am super interested to know if anyone did leave right after, if anybody skipped town or just moved out without notifying anyone. There were television reports on Crystal's disappearance, and after one of these reports aired, people did call in saying that they thought they had seen her in Downey, Santa Fe Springs, and the Bell Gardens. Now, this was checked into, but I don't believe they were able to confirm that this was actually her. There were also reports that she had been seen over 900 miles away near the Corvallis Benton County Public Library and the Cub food stores in Corvallis, Oregon, in September and October of 1995. But again, nothing came of this sighting either. A tip did come into the FBI in 2005. Someone reported seeing someone kind of burying something suspicious at one of the residences near the Tymich home around the same time as Crystal's disappearance. At the time that Crystal went missing, there was a female reverend living in this home, and it's reported that she sometimes invited children into her home to maybe preach to them, I guess, or kind of do maybe religious sermons, but there isn't really a whole lot of information to that. I would assume that police questioned the Reverend back in 1994, since she did live, I think it was right across the street from the Tymich residence, but I'm not honestly sure. I don't know. I couldn't find any reports on that either. I don't know why the person who reported the suspicious burial waited 11 years to come forward with this information. You'd think that would be something that you would tell right away, but anyway, the FBI agents and Los Angeles County Police went to the home in question and searched the crawl space, and I believe they searched the attic as well. Now, they did find bones in the crawl space, but they were not human remains. I believe it was from cows, fish, and dogs, which is very odd to be in a crawl space, but no evidence of Crystal was found there. Her family members have been ruled out as suspects, and it is believed that, someone that the family didn't know did take Crystal, but they did it fast. They didn't leave any clues behind, and there's really no more information on what could have possibly happened to her. Now, I know there were some rumors online, or people online saying that maybe her brothers had something to do with it. Her brothers were kids. I mean, they were 8, 10, and 12. I'm not saying kids can't do bad things, but I really don't believe her brothers had anything to do with it, and law enforcement doesn't either. It's been 26 years since Crystal went missing, and that's a very long time for a family to have to go without any answers or any closure. I hope whoever did take her treated her well. I hope that foul play or trafficking was not involved, and I hope that she is out there and that someday she is found and able to be reunited with her family, who misses her so very much. At the time of her disappearance, Crystal was 4 feet tall and about 60 pounds. She has light brown hair and hazel brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a pink t-shirt, floral printed shorts, and Little Mermaid sneakers. If you have any information at all on Crystal's whereabouts or what could have possibly happened to her that day back in 1994, please contact the Los Angeles Police Department at 213-485-4175. Please share Crystal's story. Please share her flyer. Please share this video. Don't let people forget about her case. I will link the flyer down below where you can download it if you would like, and I will also link the Facebook page that the family has made if you would like to go there and show them some support. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Casey and I post videos every single Wednesday on the lesser known missing person cases that need more exposure. And I mean, absolutely no harm doing these videos. I am simply trying to spread awareness, and if you would like to support me, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. I will see you all next time. Bye.